The moment Victor stepped off the plane, airport officials delivered shocking news. A coup had taken place in his home country. His passport and visa were now completely invalid. But because he didn't understand the language, Victor had no idea what they were saying. The head of security eventually handed him a few meal vouchers and sent him to the airport's main terminal. There, after watching the news on television, Victor finally learned the truth. His country had fallen into political chaos. As a result, he was no longer recognized as a citizen of any nation. Until further notice, he would be forced to remain inside the airport. Despite being surrounded by thousands of people, nobody was willing to help him. Even so, Victor never lost his kindness. He stopped to help a little girl fix her luggage. But during the process, his meal vouchers were blown away by the wind. A janitor mistook them for trash and threw them into a garbage bin. Just like that, Victor lost his only source of food. When night arrived, he wandered into an unused section of the airport. There, he built a temporary bed and spent the night alone. The next morning, he cleaned himself up in a public restroom. Then he ate free crackers with packets of ketchup for breakfast, but his stomach was still empty. Standing outside a restaurant, he stared at the unfinished meals left behind by strangers, caught in a painful battle between hunger and self-respect. That's when he noticed a woman returning a luggage cart and receiving a 25-cent deposit refund. Instantly, an idea struck him. Victor began collecting abandoned luggage carts throughout the airport. Hour after hour, he searched every corner of the terminal. Eventually, with the money from his first earnings, he bought himself a proper meal. As the hot food arrived, a sense of peace finally returned to his face. Little by little, Victor started adapting to life inside the airport. Determined to learn English, he bought two versions of the same book, one in English and the other in his native language. Before long, his hard work began paying off. Soon, he was having simple conversations with travelers in broken English. But the airport manager hated seeing Victor roam freely around the terminal. One day, the manager approached Victor with what sounded like a helpful suggestion. He told him that at exactly noon, when the guards changed shifts, the entrance would remain unguarded for 5 minutes. If Victor wanted, that would be his chance to walk out. Victor made his way toward the door, but after noticing a security camera strangely pointed in his direction, he immediately understood the trap. This wasn't help. The moment he stepped outside, he would be arrested. Realizing that Victor had seen through his scheme, the manager became even more frustrated. Then he discovered that Victor was making money by collecting luggage carts, so he assigned that job to someone else, cutting off Victor's only source of income. Once again, Victor found himself surviving on crackers and ketchup, but luck wasn't finished with him yet. Determined to move forward, he began searching for work. Unfortunately, without citizenship or legal identification, nobody was willing to hire him. Morning turned into evening, and still he had no success. Later that night, he passed by a construction site. When he noticed an unfinished brick wall, he decided to do something unexpected. Working through the entire night, Victor carefully completed the wall himself. When he finally stepped back and admired his work, he couldn't help but celebrate with a joyful dance. But then, out of nowhere, the contractor appeared behind him and saw the finished wall. Everyone expected Victor to get yelled at. Instead, they were stunned. Victor had completed in a single night what the entire crew expected would take weeks. Impressed by his talent and dedication, the contractor immediately offered him a job, and not just any job. He offered Victor an incredible wage of $19 per hour. When every door closed, Victor created his own opportunity.